Hello and welcome in to the SorareAndrews podcast brought to you by Sorare Data. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare, joined by Andy Black, who you can find as Black on Sorare. Today to talk about a whole bunch of stuff that we were planning on talking about. And one of the biggest galleries on the platform has given us something else to talk about today. And it might not be who you think. Anyway, thank you to everybody for joining us live. Andy is on the couch or near the couch today. Everybody was asking if you were in the office or near the couch. Today's a couch day. But anyway, the direction we were going today was originally about rewards and how a few people were not happy with rewards this week. I will shout out Gator Guy 231, who was very happy with his reward. And he said he felt weird because like he was the only one who felt happy with whatever. I don't even remember what he won. But I wanted to take that conversation more into what we find out about rewards and whether we want to know everything ahead of time and how much we really want to know. I feel like we've talked about the transparency thing before when they redid the rewards like a year ago, when they were talking about, oh, it's going to be based on the number of clubs that have licensed teams that have games and all this stuff, blah, blah. And everybody was trying to like do the math. And we realized that we never really knew what the formula was. And so doing the math didn't make any sense because we didn't know the formula. But Andy, how much should Sorare tell us about rewards before rewards are distributed?
They should tell us exactly how much they want to tell us about rewards. I mean,
look at that. Andy just drops off as soon as he tries to bring up the fact that Sorare should tell us everything. That was great timing. You were like, they should tell us everything they want to. Goodbye.
Yeah, no, sorry. I think it's really weird that they expose all the basketball and baseball stuff to you guys, and then like the soccer stuff, or they don't expose the baseball and basketball stuff to you guys, and then they show you all the API data for the soccer side of things. It's just kind of weird to me that like two platforms are different than the other one, the amount that they give you.
I don't disagree. I think it's actually more of a technical thing than anything else that I think when the NBA, when the MLB and the NBA like API was built, and they were just like, oh yeah, nobody needs to know anything about nobody cares. And everyone cares. So let's just, if we could get all that in the API, it's like one of the ways we find out if we're good at this game is seeing like what we won. But anyway,
I do think that it's like good for the user base to know more. Like I appreciate knowing more. So if they can show me more data there, I like to see it.
Yeah, I want to go back to like when they announced, I don't even remember what it was, but they announced, it feels about a year ago. Could have been longer. Could have been, I don't think it was less than a year ago. But they made this big point that they were going to base rewards on the number of teams that were playing, like covered teams in the game week. And so like if there were more teams playing, we'd get more rewards, which just kind of makes sense because more people have cards.
Did they say whether it was just more or was it better too, like the quality as well?
I don't ever remember quality being a thing, but like theoretically, like if you had 100 rewards one week and within that there were 5 stars and the next week they double for 200, theoretically you could double the stars. So I'm pretty sure the quality never came into it. But the expectation is if you have more, then there should be more quality. And I remember early on, everyone was trying to figure out like what it was, like what the exact formula was, because they were kind of trying to be this check on Sorare to like, no, I know you gave us 975 rewards this week in All-Star, but it really should have been 984. And because we never actually knew the formula, Sorare was just like, oh no, you're not right. You don't understand the formula that we're not going to tell you. And I feel like people got really upset that they wouldn't tell us, but also like, why it didn't matter to me, to me at least, like it just doesn't matter. Like we just play to however many rewards that they're going to give us. And I feel like we're starting to get back there again, where people want to know like not only like, I mean, we obviously know the tiers and we know every player that's in the tier, but everybody wants to know like, why is this player in tier 1 and not tier 2? What's your valuation of this and why? And I'm just not sure knowing that stuff helps.
I don't I don't want to know that. All I want is more tiers and players um segmented more into different tiers. Like make 6 tiers. I don't honestly I don't understand why that's such a problem to break it down to into more tiers. Because I know I guess they'll have to redo their reward structure a little bit, but more tiers I think fixes so many things. It it fixes expectations where people think that they're going to win a Mbappe and they end up getting a Turkish midfielder, for instance. Um, and
Purely
it
hypothetical example, sure.
purely hypothetical, yeah. And 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 also like not just like expectations, but like the variance between the top reward in the pool and the bottom reward in the pool. Because right now, like you look at the star pool, um, you might have like a Mbappe that's worth 6 ETH or whatever, and then at the bottom you have a point 0.3, point 0.4 goalkeeper. And it's like that's a big difference, especially if you win first place and like you're the only star in the pool. I'm pretty sure the way that it works is you can win anyone in the pool. So you could win the bottom one in the pool.
So the point about more tiers, I feel like they've told us that they are working on that.
Yeah.
But it like everything is tiered already. Like they know the order that they're valuing players to distribute as rewards. And they're very clear like they have told us that it's possible that somebody behind you could end up with a reward that's like right now worth more than yours. Like at no point do they say you are guaranteed to get a reward that's worth more than the person behind you. We all think that should be the case, but like sometimes it doesn't happen. And so people have to realize that like sometimes that doesn't happen. But even within tiers, like if you just took even the tier 2 tier and like cut it in half, like they know where the line is. And I mean, all the lines are basically arbitrary. The last spot in tier 2 versus the first spot in tier 3 probably isn't that different, but we kind of just mentally think it's very different. But it just feels like they could have 10 tiers for all I care. Like it doesn't really matter. Like NBA has 5 and does the less confusing tier 1 is the top one.
Well, what's weird about that too is the NBA, the player pool is like 1/100th the size of soccer,
Well,
and they have more tiers.
yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Sorry, that's not what I thought you were going to say. Yes, agreed. It's just much clear. The only thing that's not clear is where everyone in the pool is because they list everyone alphabetically.
Yeah.
I do think that they need a first place tier. And
Yeah. Just superstar. Call it superstar.
so I think the tier -1, the problem that I think a lot of people have, or one of the problems, is that there's so many players in the star tier. And it just doesn't feel like that makes sense that you would
Yeah.
have like 100 players or however many it is. The other thing is that there are lots of people who think if you win, you should win an Mbappe every time. Like they don't really think of the dynamics of what happens if that's the case. But what do you think about the idea? Like I've heard lots of people say that they want to see the distribution before the game week. If I finish 315th in All-Star Rare, I will win this reward. And kind of the counter to that is a lot of people like the process of like the reward reveal and all that stuff and not really knowing. The tier 3 lottery can be fun. I kind of feel like every tier is a lottery, but what do you think about if Sorare just announced the first place prize for every contest? Like, is that enough of a, Like I basically was it last week where Cap 240 won Mbappe? And I've had like multiple people tell me, like, if I knew Mbappe was going to be first place there, I would have played there or I would have prioritized it. And it just gives knowing what the top prize is and just the top prize. Like, and everybody has to realize that if Mbappe is the top prize, second place's value is going to be a lot lower because like nothing is on that level. But do you think that is actually a positive kind of strategy in the game of, oh, I am going to play in the contest that's giving out Mbappe this week?
So it does a couple of things. It makes the reward reveal a lot less exciting, which okay, that's not that big of a deal. It makes it less exciting for one person.
For one,
So
right.
not that big of a deal, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it anyways. But if you had that for like across the board, it makes the reward reveal a lot less exciting for everyone. Is kind of where I was going with that. Um, the other thing it does is it really would change the distribution of where lineups go, and maybe a good way and maybe a bad way. I don't I don't know. It would be really interesting because everyone would play their best players or their guys in the best spots per se,
Mm-hmm.
and capped 240. Like everyone that has um, players that are in good spots, they would go into cap 240. So there would be impacts on other divisions, but then maybe people take advantage of that too, where they're like, everything else is soft now because everyone's going so hard into cap 240. I'm gonna play cap 270 now, and maybe it's not Mbappe up top, but I'll win Neymar.
So,
Because it's that easy, right? I'm gonna go play cap 270 and win Neymar.
but there are a lot of people who do that though. And we saw that in DFS where people are much more likely to focus on, I can win $1 million for first, as opposed to the I win $5,000 if I come in seventh. And I don't want to say like we all submit lineups like this one's going, this is first place. I got the first place lineup right here. But I do think that some clarity can be, not clarity, but I, excuse me, I think there's a reasonable strategy element to, as Andy drops off again, there's a reasonable strategy element. I'm going to say it again, just in case you didn't hear that. There's a reasonable strategy element that allowing users to think, I want to go win that card. And it like reminds me because like Quinny, when game weeks open, he goes to the prize pools and he's like, where are the Celtic rewards? And the guy actually like was successful in this strategy once. Like he saw the Kyogo super rare in All-Star super rare and he's like, I'm going to go win that one. And he did. Of course, I think he was second. He wasn't even first. So like in my idea, he wouldn't even know. But like the Mbappe first place contest, like you see that and everyone sees and they're like, all right, I'm going to go play that. No guarantee that like the second place prize is better than the second place prize anywhere else. Like, what if the second place prize is Lewandowski? And then in the other contests, which don't have Mbappe first, you have Messi and Kimmich and Neymar. And so like it's just things that you have to consider. Like there's more strategy that goes into it. And I feel like the strategy, there are too many contests right now and it's like too early. So it's like really difficult, I think, for everybody to be like, where should I play this week? Right. Because like we have seen that the capped contests have really good rewards to start, but we have no idea if that's going to continue. And so, but I think the first place prize, at least you're like, okay, now I know what I'm competing for, as opposed to like, maybe if I do well, I'll win one of these 65 players. That's all.
Yeah. Let's talk about swaps. Somebody, Alex in chat mentioned it.
So Sorare started swapping rewards for people who, so it started a few weeks ago of players that were like really mispriced by Sorare, which happens sometimes with like bundles, or they were giving out players who were injured or suspended. And I feel like people are just like taking advantage of it now. And I think the precedent is really, really bad. And I'm curious, like so Sorare is not public about this. And because of that, we don't know if they're going to, like, what happens to those cards. Like, there are a bunch of cards in Sorare's gallery, one of which I want. It wasn't one of these swap things, but like, they're now like taking cards out of circulation, which like everyone who was like, yeah, let's raise prices by not having so much, like, they win. But I don't know. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's Billy Mays slapping on duct tape onto, in the infomercial. That's all it is. He's slapping it. But wait, there's more. Yeah, my God, I absolutely hate it. I think they need to get those players out of the pools if it's that egregious. If rewarding it is that egregious. The other horrible precedent that it sets is, I'm going to swap this one. I'm going to swap this one. Like, the Van de Voort for Saka one is mind-blowing to me. It's like, Van de Voort's not a good enough reward.
I think the problem is that I want to believe that this week is a one-off. It feels like there are way more mistakes this week, and that's why they're doing this.
I don't know. I saw that Willie and I disagree with a lot of the stuff that he says, but he wasn't able to get his swapped, and he won a guy
really?
that was like, he won a guy that was worth like 0.2 less than the guy below him, which, that seems like it hit the criteria that everybody else is hitting. The Saka and Van de Voort one is absolutely wild to me. How do you look at that and say that that's like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have won Van de Voort?
The only reason why I think that one went through is because I thought they were just saying yes to everyone this week, which obviously is not the case if this Willie guy didn't get it. Like, I think it should be used for like injuries and suspensions that they've missed for months, which is still happening, by the way. But like,
yeah, and Alex, I don't know that I agree with you there. If you've got a big gallery, you'll have your way. But them swapping cards brings about that discussion. Like, we're having that discussion. Like, why are they swapping these guys and not these guys? Or why did they swap Van de Voort for Saka? Why did they? I know AJ got his swapped, and that one might have made sense. I don't know, but it's just they need to they need to fix the problem and not put a Band-Aid on it. And this is a Band-Aid that could cause other problems.
Yes, I think that's exactly what it is that there are continued problems in the reward process, and they are somehow finding this swap feature to be the appropriate solution.
Hopefully short-term solution, and they get a hold of this and have better valuation or whatever to prevent this. I mean, people are always going to be unhappy with something that they win. So by swapping, you're just saying that you're going to always be willing to like do something for those people. And I'm sorry if you win the best player, like one of the top 5 midfielders in the game, and you're unhappy with it. At some point, you just have to say tough shit. Take it.
I just think that again, like, I haven't gone through this process because I don't win anything that's good enough to like justify trying to like move on. But like, it's really bad. Like,
tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel. Come on.
I just think it's really bad to start doing this, and I hope that they can fix the problem before they have to keep doing this. And I kind of feel like they should, like, I was going to say, I feel like they should like tell us like, oh, these cards that we're swapping in Like, I'd like to know what happens to those cards.
That, yeah. And maybe even like justification why they're choosing to do this swap. Like, what is the justification for swapping Van de Voort and Saka?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things that everybody always wanted more clarity on or transparency was like accounts getting suspended.
Yeah.
I'm going to tread lightly here. So there are plenty of like examples of like multi-accounting or like the referral schemes that people do, and people, it feels like Sorare is like, no, we know we have like really good ways of like making sure people don't multi-account. And then you're like, oh, well, have you seen this account? It's Andrew Laird 1, Andrew Laird 2, Andrew Laird 3. And they're like, oh, no, we missed that one. Thank you for letting us know.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's a big enough thing, there are enough people who are like, so what happened? Like, did they get suspended? And like, I'm not sure that stuff needs to be clear. But because these are like cards that should have been in the ecosystem, like this Van de Voort super rare, if I wanted that card, I could have just like gone out to Duke and be like, hey,
yeah,
I'd like to buy this card from you. And now the card's gone. And I would love to be able to afford a Van de Voort super rare, but two, it's just like, I don't like the precedent. I said it when it started like a month ago, and I feel like it's now too open. Like, enough people know about it now. Like, not everyone knew this was even an option for players that were not torn ACL for and known for the last 3 months.
The Van de Voort one is as simple as this. I didn't want that reward. I want a new one.
Right.
That's all it is, because they're priced similarly. Honestly, in the game, if you put those two cards in front of me right now and ask me which one I'd rather have, I would take the Van de Voort. Mostly because I need a U23 goalkeeper, but like Saka,
most people do.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not like Saka absolutely crushes in the game. I think his prices are probably inflated right now just because it's a new card and lots of people want it. But I don't know. I hate it. I hate the swaps. The ones that you mentioned where it's like the guys had an ACL, like I know Gator guy had his Terrier card swapped out. The guys had an ACL injury for 2 months. Like, I get it, but fix the problem. Why was he in the pool?
Well, they had what's the guy's name, Vukovic or whatever, who's been like suspended for 2 years because of doping.
Yeah,
that's who Mark won this week, YNWA, and it's like, please just get it right. Just get that part right.
Who did he get swapped?
I didn't even look. I don't know.
I'll go look.
That one makes sense to me to swap. Like, we messed up. Here's a different one.
To be fair, he wins so many rewards. I probably won't be able to.
Yeah, you can't even tell. I don't even know what he what he won it for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that they can fix the issues quickly so that this can stop.
Yeah, because it's not like this is like a fun topic to be discussing reward swaps and like, I don't know, people winning stuff that they don't want.
Yeah, what gets me now actually is I want a reward that's only worth this, and with like ignoring that like everyone else's cards were worth, like behind you was worth less. You're like, I can't believe I won a tier 1 and is only worth whatever, and you're just like,
you know what? I'm even okay with the pool, like with there being variance in there, where like the guy behind me won a card that's worth $30 more, or $100 more, like whatever. I don't think that's even that big of a deal. I know some people do. I don't. Like, I'm okay with that level of variance. Obviously, if I win first, I don't want second place winning a better card than me.
Sure.
But if I'm in 33rd place and the 34th place wins a card that's just so happens to be worth $50 more on the market or something, I could care less. Like, that's the least important thing to me. But the stuff where people are winning guys that have broken legs and stuff, it's like, yeah,
Right.
we gotta do something about that.
Right. Like I think those are situations that need to be fixed.
Yeah.
Meaning make it right, give them a different card, and then fix the problem.
Mhm.
These other ones that are happening now, I don't think it's good for anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if I win something this week, and I don't like it, I'm just gonna create a support ticket.
I guess.
Hey, if we give them enough support tickets, they'll like, maybe they'll be like, hey, maybe we should fix the problem instead of having to deal with uh 3,000 support tickets on people that are just complaining.
Yeah. Hudson said the auction rate should be transparent too, which is it not? Can't you see how many auctions are going?
Yeah.
Just got to do the math. Premier League card auctions is getting too fast and dumping the whole market. So this is, I'll make the argument that I made with NBA with whatever. I haven't looked at Premier League auctions at all. I had no intentions of buying Premier League cards. Somehow I have been able to not buy any Premier League cards. But the protecting the values of early mint Premier League cards is shouldn't be a thought at all from Sorare.
Agree.
Not at all. The goal is to get as many people to buy cards as possible. And the way that you do that is you flood the market with cards, and then everybody can go buy them. This is what happened at the beginning of NBA. It's what happened at the beginning of MLB. They want users, and users need cards to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you put them in the auction market to make sure that there is more than enough supply so that everybody can get a card if they want it.
And you know how you protect yourself in situations like that? If I want to buy Premier League cards, I don't buy the 1, 2, or the 3. I look at the 6th, 7th, or 8th. You avoid those early mints.
And
because more are coming.
Right. And if you're like, no, but I want to buy them now so that I could start using them in contests, that's the premium you pay.
Yeah.
You pay more to do that. So
I know one of the worst buys I ever made, and it's not even one of the worst buys. I bought the Paul Goldschmidt 1 of 1,000. It's his rare. I'm a Cardinals fan. I really wanted that card, but I paid probably 3x what I should have paid. Just because I was excited. I wanted to get involved. And the way I see it, they had no responsibility to protect the value of my card. That was on me for getting so hyped and it was pure FOMO. I want to go get this card right now.
You want to see some high priced early mint buys? Go look at John Nellis's baseball cards. That's all I'll say.
I know about them.
Yeah. So I'm going to get off this topic because I don't have anything else to say. I just go fix.
While you're changing topics, I'm going to let my dog out because she's whining.
Sure. So the transparency conversation that I didn't think we were going to have, that we're going to have right now, came up because we have seen sort of this revolution of secondary market bundle buyers or traders or whatever we're calling them, who are now on Twitter. Pavel Trader on Twitter, supposedly it's linked on their account on Sorare. So there's a challenge here. I don't. There are a bunch of games. Pavel's going to give away a bunch of stuff. My God, the number of people 154,000 views. So I've had multiple conversations with people in different Discords over the last 2 weeks of, I really wish there was somebody other than Pavel who would trade cards for cards. And it seems like the people who have much smaller operations that want to be Pavel are being a little more vocal now. And so we're starting to see more people willing to buy bundles or buy galleries or trade, your 58 shitty limited cards for 1 rare card. And everyone's getting excited. And there seems to be some more transparency on what they'll accept. Andy, this seems like it's great for the market, and the like comments I've seen were like, this is actually really bad because all the bundle buyers now have to be like more outgoing and like have to start advertising, and that's bad for them. And I think this is great.
Yeah, so I mean, you mentioned advertising and being more open and like I think my theory is Powell's wife took over the account. Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
And she's really wanting to get out there on social media and help him be more proactive about getting people involved with trades with him. I also think she's got some golden ticket ideas here with some of these like different swap ideas, the betting on match scores, like that sounds like gambling to me. Um, I don't know. She's got a lot of these like half price off Thursdays. Um, what is this? 20 limited and 5 rare Premier League card. No. Scroll back up just a hair. Where he's got the he's swapping his
Oh,
super rare
1-to-1
unique
limiteds for
cards.
super rares and uniques. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like all these like special deals. Like somebody else is involved here, and I think that it's his wife.
I think there was a common belief that this account, meaning the Sorare account, was run by multiple people.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the truth of this is. It just seems like one human being wouldn't be able to do all of this by themselves.
I feel like I can get responses to trades from him all hours of the day. All hours of the
Absolutely.
day. Yeah.
Like no doubt. And always asking for more ETH than you would ever dream of giving out. What is the percentage that they're asking for now? Because everybody went up in arms when they started asking for 140%, and then earlier today was at 129%. We're now back to 135.
135 plus percent.
Plus. I didn't think you could change your account name that much. Now that I think about it. I wish Sorare was more transparent on the name changing rules.
That's not his account name though, right? Pavel Trader's the account name.
Oh,
The sell all cards part is like his I don't know. I don't
club
think
nickname.
Yeah, something like that.
Might be right about that. Okay. Oh, it says 129 here. All right.
It looks like Sorare data is not updating fast enough.
Daily discounts and rewards on Twitter. It's literally like turning into a game show.
I love the daily discounts part because it's like your Amazon deal of the day.
Yeah, it's a golden box. Let's go.
All players from Monza on sale today.
This is just so many cards. 57,102 limiteds. 21,000 rares and 1,900 super rares.
Ooh, I like that XMK Pavel Trader Black Friday deals. Have people just rushing through the door, beating each other up over it.
Right. Do you think that this is good?
Of course it's good. I mean, people are going to get better deals now, probably. And he's probably, like he's going to make this sound great, but he's probably going to make sure that he's still, well taken care of.
Metal Gear says, Pavel's asking for only 25x rare price for his uniques now, so go get them until they're still there.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the pricing on some of them, and it's just absurd.
Yeah, I know that there are multiple like gallery. I don't even know how to like describe them now. Like they're basically all traders.
They're dealers, is what I refer to them as.
You say dealers?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I've done a few recently with this. I've been pronouncing it Ruve, but Ruve character.
He's just got such a bad selection of cards.
Well, I worry actually for this account because I was saying to somebody that I understand the Pavel business plan of like, I'm going to buy a gallery full of stuff that has some good things, and I'll make enough on the good things that I can like hold the garbage. And this one just feels like it's all garbage. So maybe they'll win. Maybe at some point they can get it, like make it enough. Mike Basson saying they're market makers. I think that's exactly what it is. And I just like, I like this idea that there are people willing to do this, because it did feel like some of the other ones had standards which were reasonable, and yet reasonable if you were doing it from their side, and completely unreasonable if you were trying to trade for them. Like I always basically check these gallery, Rody Boss and Katozi, and I forget who else. Super Usmane. Like I send them offers with like loads of garbage, and they're like, no, I don't want that. And I'm like, well, that's not right. You should take all of this stuff. But any reasonable person would understand why they don't. So yeah, I don't know. Sorare just said that we need Pavel on a Sorare podcast already. About a year ago, I asked Pavel to come on, and had a friendly conversation about it. And Pavel was worried that his English just wasn't good enough. To which I was like, oh no, it's fine. And they just weren't interested in talking about what they do. And yeah, I respect it. That's fine. Happens.
I think at one point I offered to throw in an extra card in a deal to help get him on the podcast.
I think you did do that.
It didn't work.
Didn't work. Although
I know Nellis has been trying really hard as well.
As he should. He should. I will say this new social media strategy, though, maybe we're going to get a Pavel Trader podcast one day.
Maybe. A husband and wife special, maybe? No? Yeah, I just imagine him, like his profile pic, like he's got the hat on and he's like got the cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And like if you were ever on a podcast, I just imagine that right there. That's him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool little mustache.
Mm-hmm. XMK was asking where he's from. I think he's Polish. If I remember.
The rumor I've heard, yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I always pronounce it Pavel instead of Powell. Do you think someone in the live stream is secretly Pavel? I don't. I hope I'm wrong.
It could be Mike Baston. Just, I don't know. I've always thought maybe. I don't know.
That would be fun. Mike, is it you? I know you're here. Nanzo's here catching up, saying if this swapping continues, he's out. You should just swap. Maybe that's the daily swap.
Don't hate the player.
In NBA, they just do it now for rewards in football.
Oh, man.
There it is. Zuder's taking credit.
Okay. The most important goal is to help other people.
Doesn't feel that way, Pavel.
Mm-hmm.
The other people, meaning like the other people he runs the account with? Or she, I don't know. Pavel was yeah. Oh, man, so many cards.
Mike, I don't think life would be easier in any way if you're a Pavel Trader.
My goal is to help other people help me. I like that. XMK, nice work. Indy, did you ever try to do a deal with the non-Pavel traders?
Not really, no. Like what I like about Pavel Trader is like I know what he wants. I feel like I know what he wants. He wants my crap, but he doesn't really want my crap. He wants a little bit of ETH thrown on top. So if I can combine the two, then I feel like I can usually come out pretty decent.
The counter offer feature was like one of the worst things ever. because it was like, oh, yes, I like your deal, but give me half an ETH also. And now it feels like it's a little unfair. So I'm looking for a tweet here. Here it is. Sorare Portugal had this tweet earlier talking or listing all of the traders basically.
And it has like their percentage. Yeah.
Which is extremely helpful for anybody who does it. I don't know if this is the full list or if there are like what the deal is. Some other people are throwing some in. Mr. Swap. I will say, actually, I'm glad I just thought of this. If you put anything about trades in your Sorare name, I'm going to expect that you're going to take my garbage. And it's really disappointing when you don't. That's all.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to give you 120% of whatever I'm trying to get and you say no because it's junk, I know it's junk. That's why I'm giving it to you. But I don't know. Let's see. Bologna is better than Pavel. That might be true.
Have you ever done a deal with Bologna?
I don't.
Bellina?
Bologna?
Yeah.
I don't know. For those who are unaware, Bellina or Bologna is a bot that buys mispriced cards.
And then resells them at a nice profit.
Right.
I think out of principle, I will not go out of my way and deal with that account. But I may have once bought a card off of it. It was like something I needed or wanted or something. But I think I've probably sold more cards to that bot. Like I had a guy that like broke his leg, and the bottom had already fallen out of it mostly, and I just sold it even lower. And
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
I actually think that the bot is perfectly fine. I realize that that most people disagree and that they think that bots are absolutely terrible and are ruining everything. But the reaction to the bots when they get a card like that is always like they stole that card. And if there was no bot and a human just saw it, like nobody is thinking that they stole it. And so
yeah, that's a good point.
That's all. I don't know if bots are good or bad for the game, but they're there. And I don't know how you like stop bots other than just Sorare being like, please don't use them. And be like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
We'll not
maybe they should swap your card if a bot buys it.
Like give you another one of higher value?
Yes.
I don't think we should do that. I disagree with you.
That doesn't seem exploitable at all, I don't think.
The bot stole it from the human that wanted to sell it. Yeah. That's fine. I mean, mispricing a card sucks. I'm not going to I get it. And I assume that there's never been a situation where somebody contacts this Bologna and is like, I messed up. Can you please give it back?
Yeah, he's definitely like the Grinch. Like his heart is 3 times too small.
No, well, we don't know. Like, I assume they never give it back, but
no. He definitely does. He does not give them back.
Doesn't give them back. Right.
No, and I've seen people like have, and I don't even think he has his Discord or Twitter on there. But I think people have like gotten a hold of him somehow, and he's just like, nope, not gonna happen. He's definitely the Grinch.
Yeah, Mike Pavel Bastin was saying that auction bots are the worst. They keep driving prices up and ruining deals. So, luckily, Mike, we're all going to have an auction bot soon. It's already there for NBA and MLB, so we'll be good. The bot will get 50 nice deals. Well, if there were no bots, probably 50 people would get a nice deal.
I agree with that, but
so it's actually better for 50 people to rob other people and as opposed to just one person. That's what we're saying?
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that I agree with the statement. I don't agree with it in principle.
Yeah, I don't. So if the bot gets it, it's stealing. But if 50 people get them, then it's just a nice deal. That's that's what we're saying here. Anyway, so I had
There's just nothing you can do about it. Like you can't like the whole. What are you gonna do? Ban the guy? Like ban him from what? Buying and selling? So you're gonna not own your game now? Like I don't know. There's just too many issues. Like they really they can't and they probably shouldn't do anything about it beyond like what they've already done where they like, are you sure that you really want to sell this card at this price?
yeah.
And I saw somebody mention that like they're missing a feature like that in the counter offers, which
Yeah.
yeah, if it's missing, get it in there, get those warnings in there.
I will say that what was the counter? I almost got tripped up on one recently where somebody like asked for ETH and I added a card and didn't take the ETH out. So I was like basically double paying.
But you caught it before you submitted
But I'm
it.
super sharp, Andy, so I caught it. But I would understand why a normal human being would get taken to the cleaners.
But you're no normal human being, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure I actually caught it, to be honest. I think my initial offer was just so bad, and then, yeah, I don't know. Have you ever considered what it would take? Let me rephrase. What do you think it would take to be one of these traders? Like, how much money do you think we need if I wanted to start this up? The competition here, Pavel's at 1,600 ETH, but some other guys are at 15 and 10, or 15 and below.
You could be like Calvin Klein and start with 1 ETH. It's the whole.
Start with one.
It's the red paperclip idea, right? Where you start with one red paperclip and you turn it into a house. So, that's the dream.
I don't know. Let's see. I don't know what so Calvin Klein buying galleries is now up to 3 ETH. So this must be is this an old tweet? Oh, it is January 25th. So Calvin Klein has 37 cards right now in total and a 3 ETH gallery, but is willing to buy up to 60 ETH galleries, which sounds pretty fun. I just wonder how profitable, like how long it takes to be profitable.
Well, if Pavel Trader's page would load on Sorare data, we would know.
It loads now.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, here it is. But the manager stats are private, I assume.
Yeah. Okay.
Man of mystery.
How about the SO5 stats?
Pavel's been crushing lately.
Has he?
Like won first in Cap 220 unique. Got a Fabianski super rare.
I mean, in
Third
total,
in Champion Europe super rare.
In total, he's won 100 ETH worth of ETH and cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
Not bad. Could buy a lot of bundles that way. But no, I actually have thought about this, and I like the actual fantasy game. So Sorare Josh saying he won a Tadic super rare at one point. No, it's Modric.
Do you think he's ever not sold a reward or a card because he's like, oh, well, I can use it in the game?
No.
He's like, oh, I'll just get rid of this Messi and replace it with, I don't know, some loser, Jose Pedro Fuendelza.
No, I don't think Pavel's ever seen a card and was like, I should probably keep this.
My champion Europe team's too good. I can't sell it.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's none of that. The DD Sober saying he hired a lineup strategy department, which I don't think is wrong. Because the lineups have been much better recently than than they used to.
I wonder if Didi's joking or he knows that, or if he's just speculating.
The lineups have definitely been better lately, and so
man, if you were hired to do his lineups, then you'd be the guy that is like, "Do not sell Neymar. Why are you?
yeah.
Stop selling Neymar."
Yeah.
Because he
I
does.
don't
He
need
at one
14
point,
copies of Hugo Bueno.
yeah. I did see he had some really premium cards in there that I kind of went after, but he was not budging on like valuations, and he was not really wanting to make a crappy deal on his Neymar.
Oh, I believe that. I believe that.
I mean, I
There
had
was
a lot of junk in there.
Yeah, the one thing that gets me are the number of people with like elite cards that sell to him.
Yeah.
Like I realize that it's probably really fast, and if you need like ETH quickly, like you can just go there and be like, "This is what I have. What do you want?" But I mean that we have a list of people who seemingly are ready to make deals up to 100 ETH, and yet all of a sudden you're like, "Hey, by the way, Pavel has Neymar and a Messi," and you're just like, "Why? Why do people do that?"
Yeah, I mean, you could just sell them yourself, cut the floor by 20%, and I'm pretty sure that card's selling pretty quick.
Yeah, I understand people who don't do that because they like, you know, if you have 30 cards and you don't want to like wait for all of them and he'll just give you the money right away. But like all of these people will just give you the money right away. So I don't know, but it keeps keeps everyone liquid, I guess. Oh yeah, so I was trying to see like what card. Oh, the Cam Thomas unique. That's nice now. Yeah.
Yeah, Powell is a trusty name.
He's a what?
He's a trusty name. I
Cam
mean,
Thomas?
no, Powell. You know, everybody knows who he is.
Oh.
You feel comfortable. You feel comfortable doing deals with him.
Yeah, I mean if you saw somebody with this gallery and the transaction list, like you'd be like, "Oh, right, yeah, that's reputable." And I know that there are a bunch of like, you know, if you're selling 50 cards and you have to do it like 10 by 10 because they don't allow you to do more than 10 at a time. This page probably is broken because of how many transactions it is, but I don't know. TNFA was saying, with all the cards that he has, could he be able to manipulate some card markets? So Pavel definitely has some cards that he has like 12 of and posts all of them. And there's always somebody else who's trying to sell and they'll just go a little lower.
I don't think he owns a high enough percentage of any card market for him to move it. Although if there's like a retired player or a retired player like a ill or injured player or something, he might have enough of those cards to move the market, but it wouldn't happen until that player like came out of retirement, like where he would be able to do something with them.
Just to give an example, Pavel sent this Ali So card, which has a floor of basically $6, and took, what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Is that 9? 3, 6. Yeah, 9 limiteds for 1 limited. Like that's the kind of stuff you can get away with. And then, here's 3 super rares also. And we all have like the wonderful, I got one over on Pavel, and then the other just like, oh man, he killed me on this one.
I think I have a hard time. I don't think that he probably is like really good at pricing his super rares and uniques very well. And
nobody's good at it. Like nobody. I mean, it's
I don't know. There's a super rare he has where he has it priced like at like 3 ETH or something, and it recently sold on auction for like 1.6, and I'm like really doubting that I'll be able to get it around the auction price. I think he has his own price.
I mean, for super rare, it's a little easier to be like selective in price because there's just not that many of them.
Yeah, there might not be another on auction or another rewarded in a good bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope we see, as somebody who has a decent collection of cards I really don't want and have very little value, I appreciate being able to take a lot of those cards and turn it into one slightly less garbage card and work that's my red paper clip. That's
Yeah.
what I want to do. I have a lot of red paper clips. I want to turn a bunch of them into a blue paper clip and then move from there. Mike Pavel Bastin, but as we said before, the price of supers and uniques is whatever the seller deems it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's true. It's true.
Don't disagree with that at all.
I'm going to break something if I try to pull that page up.
Bring the whole site down.
Yeah, it's just. Oh, there we go.
I'm surprised how many basketball uniques he has.
So Pavel bought like a bunch of auction, like uniques at auction. I absolutely love that Pavel has a nearly 1,500 ETH gallery, and his two most valuable cards are basketball cards.
Well,
and Nanzo,
are they though?
Yeah, I agree with Pavel. Auctions are mispriced. Get rid of them. Because I know somebody who tried to get a card from Nanzo this week at a near last auction price, and Nanzo was having none of it.
Yeah, I mean that just goes back to what Mike said. I mean it's and Mike changed his name now to Mike Powell.
Yeah,
B. Love it.
It's a special. It's a Pavel special though. It's just one night only. Anyway, sorry, what were we going to say?
Just that it's the seller that deems the price of those cards, what their value is. If there's one seller, they get to name their price.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to add something because we're going to go soon. One of the things that I really like about, I've seen two different of these gallery buyers do it. They'll send you a counter offer that includes an ETH, and you can send back a card worth that much. Like they're not necessarily asking for more ETH; they're asking for a card worth or cards worth that much. And I love that because Pavel definitely does not do that. Pavel's like, no. I asked for ETH, and that's what I will take.
All right. So if Pavel's listening, this is a feature. This is a feature that the people want. And since we're a man of the people now, we expect it.
If people wanted to send ETH, they would have sent it. Nobody wants to send ETH. All ETH or not. But
I want an actual golden ticket idea out of Powell where he's got some kind of like Twitter giveaway and you get this golden ticket and now you get like X% off your future orders.
What if, you know what I think might be the best possibility? What if Pavel did some sort of contest? I don't know how you do it, but the winner gets any card from his gallery.
Wow. I don't know about that, but he was talking about like he's into gambling and whatnot now, where he wants to allow like what was it like? I don't know. He had all these games listed in his that last post that he did.
What are we betting on? Oh. Betting on match scores with real prizes and ETH or cards.
Yeah.
So I predict the right Arsenal score, and I get the Jonathan David unique.
Let's go.
That's how it works, right?
Well, it would probably need to be an Arsenal player, so you get like his best Saka card, something like that. Maybe he's got like.
We all know that the best way to get a Saka card is to win a Van de Voort.
That's right.
Anything else? What about a Pavel Trader Plus subscription service where you only have to pay 110%?
These are brilliant ideas. My
These
God.
are really good ideas.
Yeah. Like all it has to be is like a Patreon service where you subscribe to it, you pay your $10 a month, and now you're paying 110%.
There is nothing more I would like than for my wife to be like, "Hey, what is this on our credit card statement? Pavel Trader Plus." And I'm like, "Oh yeah. No, that's we're good. Don't worry about
Hey,
it."
if you're gonna play Sorare, you have to have this
Yeah.
subscription. You know, like
Yeah.
Pavel
She's
Trader
like, "Is that
Plus,
Paramount?" And I'm
then
like, "Yeah,
Sorare, yeah, then Sorare Data subscription. But you have to have the Pavel Trader subscription first.
yes.
It's the most important.
Pavel Trader Plus. I'm in. Why don't you call Pavel Trader on your next podcast? We've tried. Pavel just I'm waiting for the Pavel Trader podcast to just come out. The own brand one. Not Pavel's not gonna like give out free content. You're just gonna
I would watch it if he didn't talk the entire time and he just smoked a cigarette.
just rejecting or just counter offering deals for 60 minutes.
Yeah,
0.23,
you get his
0.5.
screen, you get his screen share, and he's just smoking, and and it's just reject. Oh, it'd be such good content. Come on,
Yeah.
pal.
Can I trade 2 Patreon subscription for Pavel's Patreon, or is it ETH only? Always ETH. Always ETH.
I
Anyway.
think a combination of both gets it done.
It's a good point. Good point. Just 2 more limited cards, and maybe you'll get there. All right. Thank you to everybody for joining us live. Feel free to keep sending in your Pavel Trader Plus subscription ideas. Hit me up on Twitter, Andrew M. Laird. And yeah, if you guys haven't liked the video already, if you could please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If somehow you are an hour into a stream and not subscribed yet, so please do that. And yeah, be back next week with some more what look like serious conversations that turn right into shenanigans.